And he is still the WBO super middleweight champion of the world. George, many congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. I want to say thank you to everyone who's come here tonight. Another fantastic reception I've had. You know, I was boxing another Brit, so I expected the crowd to be split. But I had a lot of support in here tonight, and I'm very thankful for it.
Did he surprise you with his start?
No. I mean, it's all fun and games before a fight. I picked Jamie Cox because I believed he was the most dangerous fighter out of the unseeded fighters. Because I believe in form. I don't want an easy fight on the way through, like I say. I knew Jamie would ask questions. I knew he was tough. I mean, I trained alongside him 10, 12 years ago. I know what Jamie's about. So this, as I say, I talk about the form I'm in. Tremendous form going into the tournament. Another fantastic win under my belt. And roll on to the next dude, whoever that is.
We'll come on to that. Just sum up the way you finished it. Is that one of the best shots you've thrown?
Well, I was landing big body shots on Jamie the whole night, but I knew he was a fit guy, so I knew his powers of recovery were good. In the end, I think it was a right hook to the body, really slashed through. It's a crippling shot. I don't blame him for not getting up. Since working with Shane McGuigan, I've had 4 stoppages, but 3 with body shots, so don't give me a target to the body, because I'm going to take advantage and you might not get up, you know?
Let's bring in Shane as well for a word, your trainer. Just sum up that ending.
Oh, it was a great shot, you know. George's got very heavy hands. We've been placing on, you know, that body shot when he falls and commits to himself. It commits over the front foot and just bring it up the middle, and George, he got a little bit ragged early on, but, you know, Jamie's a rough and tough sort of character, but he settled him, and then once he settled him, he got the measure of him, he started bringing it up, and you know, it was a perfect shot.
And how important was it for you, after seeing Chris Eubank Jr.'s explosive finish last week, to do the same?
It don't matter. I mean, the fans can enjoy it, but Eubank, we've shared a ring enough times. He's been one of my sparring partners over the years. He knows what I'm all about. I know what Chris is about. I made a big factor of the size in the build-up to this. I felt Jamie is a world-class middleweight, but he wasn't going to beat me at super middleweight. The same can now be said for Chris Eubank. He's just not big enough.
Well, let's bring in Chris Eubank Jr., because next it is Eubank Jr. versus George Groves. Chris, your verdict tonight?
It was a good fight. He did what he had to do to win. No cuts, not too many cuts and bruises, so it looks like we're on for January. I'm excited.
Were you impressed by the finish?
He did what he had to do. It was a nice little body shot. Jamie Cox, respect to him, he came out here and he put on a hell of a show. Groves, like I said, I think he just got a little bit more experienced, timed his shots right, and now we've got the super fight for the fans. That's what we want.
Well, this fight is on now for January, the semi-final. George, it's important, isn't it, for you tonight that it hasn't gone long. It is a relatively brief workout. Now you can recharge for January.
Yep, I mean, I've been doing this long enough now. I know how to peak and how to rest. Yeah, it wasn't too difficult tonight. It wasn't too tough. I'm still feeling fresh. We're ready to go in January.
I can see you're eyeing him up already. I mean, you know each other well. You've sparred together. Who got the better of that sparring?
Listen, sparring is you know, sparring is training. That's history. What matters is what's going to happen in January. And you know, as far as I'm concerned, I'm the #1 seed. I'm the champion.
He's the #1 seed.
I know, well, that's what you say, but in my mind, I'm the #1 seed, and I'm going to go in there and show everybody where my confidence comes from in January. Watch.
George, you have a very confident fighter in front of you. I mean, this is a throwback, isn't it, now, to the days when Chris Eubank Sr. was fighting. We now have a classic British super middleweight world title fight on our hands, don't we?
We've had a couple of big super middleweight, yeah, since then, which I've obviously been part of. This is going to be a great fight. I think the fans are gonna love it. Eubank, to his credit, has always been all action. He's never boxed anyone like me. He's got a bit of momentum, but not quite the form. And the momentum will put him in a confident frame of mind, but we know how to deal with that.
That is true, isn't it, Chris? You've not been in with the quality of performer that George has.
Not in a professional ring, no. In sparring I have, and obviously I know what happened in those instances. But like I said, that's in the past. Now we have an opportunity. Trophy. I can't wait. It's going to be epic.
Kalle, just a brief word, if we can, please, with Kalle Sauerland. You have the fight, I think, that you wanted in terms of
fight. It's a mega fight. You call it what you want. It's going to be explosive. The build-up's going to be huge, and we're going to find the right platform to do it. It will be January, February. It will be in Britain. I'm not going to say if it's indoors or outdoors, but it will be somewhere big.
Thank you very much, Callum. Well done tonight to George Groves. We look forward to a fight.
So the semi-final has been set. The tournament #1 seed, after that 4th round stoppage victory over Jamie Cox tonight, progressed us through to the final 4, where he will face off become the 12th super middleweight champion of the world from these shores tonight. That's if you include the IBO belt that Chris Eubank successfully defended tonight. And that man who was just flashed up in the crowd, Christopher Livingston Eubank, Chris Eubank Sr., held the super middleweight crown from 91 to 95. The man who's been my verbal sparring partner tonight, Richie Woodall, held the WBC strap from 98 to 99. Chris Eubank Jr. and George Groves. They'll be squaring off, Groves and Eubank Jr. in January or February at a venue to be determined, after George Groves won for the 5th time here at Wembley tonight. Let's hand up to David Diamante.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our 6th installment of the World Boxing Super Series quarterfinals. We look forward to seeing you next week in Newark, New Jersey for Gassiev versus Wlodarczyk. Thank you for attending, and please arrive home safely.